Hey guys, Luke here and welcome back to Season 3, Episode 5 of my Be A Pro series with James Hart, and we are still at the Bulldogs as you can see here. And the first game we are taking on the Cowboys, which should be a pretty good contest. Second game is against the Rabbitohs, which should also be another good contest. But in terms of how the team's been going, we really picked it up last episode. The first few games of the season weren't that great. I mean, we had a pretty decent preseason, but coming into the first few rounds we weren't great. But we really did pick it up, especially, young James Hart here. He's been killing it the last few games. He's had a really, really strong start to the season. So hopefully James Hart can take that form into this game and the next few games and the rest of the season even. I'm looking at the Bulldogs side and but the Cowboys side as well. There's a few interesting selections in the side and that sort of stuff, and that's just what's going to happen. Unfortunately, on this game mode, I don't get to pick the side, so I'm just going to have to deal with people like Luke Lewis on the bench, even though he's been scoring tries and doing all that sort of stuff. But here, what a start by James Hart. Takes it around the fullback and looks to be a really, really nice little try there from James Hart, and that's just added to his try scoring tally this year, which is, I'm not sure exactly what it is, but seems to be a pretty good tally at the moment. I'd say he'd be top try scorer at this stage, but Trent Hodgkinson, he slots the goal straight over from in front, and James Hart's got the Bulldogs off to the best start possible. So here, Cowboys, they're firing back here, and that's a pretty poor attempt there from Hardy. Really shouldn't have went around the legs there. I know Adam Docker probably would have just palmed him off anyways, but he really needs to go for a higher contact, and he's done. It's not the first time he's done it this season, so he'll have to live and learn, and hopefully next time it won't happen. Alright, here, he steps back, beats a few plays, but he is brought down there. But it looks to be maybe Matt Scott or someone. But he's going to take on Robert Louis, I think, or is it Ray Thompson? And there's an offload there to Josh Reynolds, and a bomb is being put up, and it's going to be taken by the Cowboys. Well, it's actually knocked down, but James Hart comes up with a big tackle there as he wrestles around with that player, and that's not where the play's going to end. You're going to see here we're going to chase across and grab, I think it might be Kane Linnett or someone, but that's another tackle. That's two tackles in a row there by James Hart. Can he follow up with the third? Ray Thompson takes on the line, but he passes it, and it's back to, looks like maybe Lachlan Coote or someone, and we're backing off here, just hoping that someone might get involved in the play from our side. We don't want to have us commit to a tackle, and we don't have to, but we did have to. We ended up forcing an error too, which gave us great field position. We couldn't do anything with it, and you can see there we come up with a tackle from the kick. I think we actually put in the kick too, but that's another two tackles in a row, so we're quite involved in this game early on. But we go straight around the defence there, and the Cowboys were looking at scoring another try here with James Hart, but it is Ray Thompson keeping up with him, and we just had to cut inside. We've had that happen too many times where we've tried to take him on with pace and get thrown over the sideline. We didn't want that to happen. We want to actually have a chance at scoring a try here. We're going for the wins. We aren't going for what's best for James Hart, but we really should have scored there. I'm not sure exactly who it was, but I could not believe they didn't score to send. That was absolutely terrible. Jonathan Thurston comes up with a break there, but it is a great little tackle there by James Hart, and that's the sort of tackle I've been wanting, and sort of been phasing out those around the legs tackle, and you can see that's been working pretty nicely for us. But still 6-all just for half time. We're going to call for the ball. We take it straight around Thurston, but it is James Tamu who comes across there and makes the tackle. And once again, just taking it to the line and using our pace, getting to the outside, and that was the fifth tackle, so it was a handover, but it was right before half time. So that's the reason that we ran it on the last just there. So we aren't actually a crazy player and playing stupid football. We're just, it was a calculated risk. Anyway, second tackle here. It's the second tackle of the first half, the second half, I should say. And we had to make another good tackle there. This time we're not going around the legs yet again. Come up with a bigger bone-crunching tackle right through the stomach there. Maybe a few sore ribs in the morning for that guy who made the break. That's very poor from James Hart there. He went for the kick. Didn't need to do it. We just need to let Hodgkinson and Reynolds take over the kicking duties. That's what they're there for. They're the halves, but it's really hard to just let them kick, because sometimes they do absolute shockers. But I mean, James Hart just come up with a shocker, and as a result, North Queensland Cowboys score a try. But right from the kickoff here, they come up with a break. Can James Hart come up with a tackle? No, he can't. Jason Taumalolo, I think it is, comes up with a huge shoulder barge, and I got to say that is very reminiscent of the last season. We'll get confirmation it is Taumalolo, and it is Taumalolo off the bench. Now that actually did happen last season. Taumalolo just steamrolled James Hart. I got to say that is poor defense all round from the Bulldogs, like forward, just not the forwards, but the initial defense, the front line, and then also James Hart probably should have went around the legs that time. Should have realised Taumalolo is a way bigger guy than you. You can go around, you can go up high on people like Thurston and that, but not on a player like Taumalolo, he's just a monster, man. Anyways, there's a big tackle there on the winger. I think it might be Tyrone Phillips, who's actually playing on that wing for this game. Been a few weird selections on the wing there, but yeah, we got pretty good field position, but couldn't do anything with it. Now right here, I'm going to call for the ball there. We beat one more player, and that is the number 9. I think it's probably Cameron King just there. Not Granville, or maybe it was Chris Jason, I'm not really sure. But Cowboys going in for another try. No, they aren't. That's a good little tackle there. That's what we should have done on Tamalalo. That's not where the play's going to end. As James Tamu, they go just across field a little bit and find James Tamu in a hole there. So it is going to be 24-6, and we had a really, really good start to this game. James Hart got them off to a flying start, really, and it's just all turned to shit from there on in. 6-all at half time, you would have thought we maybe could have went on with it, maybe could have went on with the game, but we couldn't do that. And James Hart, he's tried his best, but hasn't had one of his better games this year, but he comes up with a nice little bit of footwork there on Lachlan Coote and got around him. So that's pretty good work there from James Hart. He finds himself in another gap here, and he is going to be brought down by Coote, but he does force an offload there. As you can see there, just trying everything was the hitman Hart, and he just couldn't do it just there. But here's a pretty of a gap here. Beat Coote, and we beat a few other players, but we were brought down eventually. But there was a split second of thinking we're going to go over and we're going to score another length of the field try. Once again, Tamalao just bumps us off there, and we did go for the high tackle. We need to do it in that situation, as I think if we went for the legs, he would have just fell over the line anyways. But Thurston kicks the goal yet again, so it's 5-5, and right from the kickoff, this isn't going to be the final play, the try being scored. It's going to be yet another opportunity for the Cowboys as they're going to race away and score another try. Maybe Brett Morris could have caught him, I don't know, but he didn't end up going for him, and we're chasing really, really hard here with James Hart. But Dan Sargentson, who I'm not sure exactly who he is, but he seems to be pretty good in this game. He scores a try there, and Thurston kicks another goal, so it's 6 from 6 for him. And what an annihilation by the Cowboys! I couldn't believe it. Couldn't believe we got towed up that much, but Sargentson wins man of the match there. And we polled pretty well. We were in 4th spot there, but it just shows how good the Cowboys were. That we played a really, really good game with James Hart, and we still couldn't crack the top 3 players of the game. Moving on to the second one, we've got the Rabbitohs. So it's Rabbitohs at home. Not that the home stadium really matters, because it's both at ANZ Stadium, but we're looking to come up with a pretty big win. I'm not exactly sure how Rabbitohs are doing on the game, but in terms of individual battles, we've got Greg Inglis up against James Hart, so it should be a really, really good battle here. In terms of lineups and that sort of stuff, I'm not really sure what's the go. Is it Origin time or something? Although Inglis is playing, but Billy Slater, the way the game's selecting that sort of stuff, it wouldn't surprise me if Billy Slater's the fullback, Inglis ain't even in the side, because Josh Morris isn't in there, Hodgson isn't in there. So we got this Christian Hazard guy in at halfback. We also got no Josh Morris. Jacob Loco's playing for us, which is a little bit weird. But we're going to take the ball here, and we're through a gap there, but it is Adam Reynolds. He comes across with a tackle around the legs, and he stops Hardy. But we're going to go on the outside. I don't know if it's Arvau or someone, but we nearly get thrown over the sideline there. There was a split second where I thought we were going over the sideline, but we are making plenty of meters, as are the Rabbitohs, making lots of line breaks. It is Adam Reynolds this time making a line break for the Rabbitohs. But you see here, the simple thing is taking it up to the line and then just putting on that burst of speed, and we're making a hell of a lot of meters there. It was around Isaac Luke that time. We did actually pass it off, a draw and pass there, which was quite nice, but come up with a better kick here. I was talking about the previous game, saying we should just let the halves, take over the kicking duties. But when you've got a young guy like Hazard, who I've never really heard of, and then you've got Josh Reynolds, who he is an okay kicker, but that's about it. He's not a phenomenal kicker or anything. We need to get involved in the kicking, but it is Inglis, I think, here, and that is a really, really good tackle around the ribs there, and we did end up holding him up pretty well, but they end up getting a repeat set, which is really, really annoying. And we're just going to have to try and defend our arse off once again, which we have been doing really, really well this game. It has been a tale of just us defending pretty much the whole game, with James Hart coming up with a line break to get us upfield a little bit, but apart from that, not too much is happening in this game. We call for the ball there off Josh Reynolds, who picked up the grubber. Right here, another break, and it is the winger. I'm not sure who it is. It's not Gray. I don't know who it was who just had the ball there, but it does put Rabbitohs in another attacking opportunity here. And you see here, they grabbed the ball. I think it was one of the Burgesses. They grabbed the ball, but they actually ground the ball short of the line, so we got away with that one. That really should have been a try to the Rabbitohs. Should be probably 6-0 to them, and that would have been a bad miss by James Hart, and it was a bad miss, but thankfully didn't lead to a try. And James Hart still a man of the match at this game if you gave it to it at half time. But Nil all at halftime. It's not exactly the most eventful game, but as you can see, there's lots of highlights, plenty of line breaks from both sides. So it has been an entertaining game if you're not worried about tries being scored. But the Rabbitohs, they really blew an opportunity just there. They need to get the last pass off, and I think it was Joel Reddy who ended up holding onto the ball. But you see here, we're starting to throw the ball around a little bit. It's going to be the ball hitting the deck, and we picked it up a few times and that sort of stuff. But the Rabbitohs are going to counter as they picked up the ball. They hit it straight to the edges, and they end up scoring a try here through James Clare. I have no idea who he is, and it does make sense that Origin players will be gone, because I don't think Alex Johnson's playing this game either, because I don't know who the hell Clare is. But yeah, he ended up scoring a try. But anyways, there's an opportunity for us as we cut back inside from the scrum, because we don't really have the stats to throw those long passes. So the best option for us is to just run it. But oh my god, what a magical pass that was to Beastie Greg Eastwood off the receiving end of a great pass there by James Hart, a cutout pass. The Rabbitohs player just ran up too far out of the line and ended up a try being scored by Greg Eastwood. So what an assist that actually was. One of the best passes I've ever seen, if I've ever seen them. I can't really recall any tries being scored off a pass like that was that good. But, I've got to say, 6-4. We've got the lead through Josh Reynolds actually kicking the goal, which is a little bit weird. But we do give the South Sydney Rabbitohs an opportunity, and they're going to hit the edges here, and they are going to score in the 80th minute. The 80th minute siren was up as he was going over there was Joel Reddy. An absolute heartbreak to lose that game. We did not deserve to lose that, and Adam Reynolds kicks the goal, unlike the first time, and, didn't have to worry about kicking the goal because the game was over. But James Hart wins me out of the match, even though we ended up losing. But I just can't believe we lost. And the reason they had the field position was because there was a spilt ball, and James Hart, who was ahead of the play, just picked it up instinctively because it was right next to him, and gave him field position. Not that they might have scored it anyways, but you know what, we did our best for James Hart, and it was to no avail. But I think overall pretty good performances by James Hart for both episodes, sort of keeping up the standard. Anyways, that's where the video's going to end. Hopefully you did enjoy it. If you did, please leave a like, subscribe to my channel, follow me on Twitter at Mr. Luke YT, Facebook page in the description below. Also check out my second channel, Gaming with Mr. Luke, and my Twitch channel as well. So I'll see you then, guys. Bye.